Hi, and welcome to the channel. I'm Lindsay from Sweet and Sour Firsties. If you're new here, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe for tons of weekly back-to-school tips and tricks to help make it your best school year ever. This week is all about easy sanity-saving tips while teaching in October. We all know when October rolls around, we start to see all kinds of things. The holiday season is upon us. Kids are getting excited about lots of candy and costumes. It's also the time of year where conferences start to happen. You really start to hit the ground running with curriculum, and it seems like that's when things can start to fall apart. You start to see those really big behaviors. Kids test boundaries. October brings a lot. And because we know that already, I'm here to just give you some easy tips to help make that time a little less chaotic and run a little bit smoother. Which brings me to tip number 1. It's never too late. I want you to say that to yourself because I know we have huge pressure and timelines for teaching curriculum, and it can feel like we just have to go no matter what is going on, no matter what their behaviors are. But I want you to stop, take a minute, and say to yourself, it's never too late. What I mean by that is no matter where you're at in the school year, August, October, December, May, if they are not getting it and they are disrupting instructional time, playing, talking, exhibiting behaviors that are disruptive, stop, pause, and reteach expectations. This can be something quick. We just need to practice and go, we got it. Or this could be like, we need to take time. And I promise, while you may be taking instructional time away, think about how much instructional time you're losing dealing with those behaviors every day. And if you don't nip it, then it's going to continue and you're just going to keep wasting instructional minutes all year long. So it's better to stop, take a break, teach expectations. My rule of thumb for this is if you have 3 or more students who are exhibiting a similar behavior, think about sitting on the carpet. If students are blurting out, if students are talking over one another, if students are talking over you, if that's 3 or more, it's time to stop and reteach the whole class. You can pull back out anchor charts again, what it looks like and sounds like. Remember those high expectations for modeling and practicing. It's better to stop the instruction and have a whole class reset instead of continuing interrupting instruction time. It's better to deal with all those ping-pong behaviors and students that seem to kind of feed off of each other and continue that same behavior over and over again. And I promise if admin walks into your room and sees you doing this, they're gonna appreciate that because they know our whole goal is to get students ready to learn, right? So we are able to teach that curriculum effectively. Maybe things are going great, but they've gotten a little stale or mundane. That brings in tip number 2, shake things up. October is a great time of year to shake things up. You can bring in the fun theme centers. Even if you don't celebrate Halloween, you can throw in fall. You can change up your call and responses during this month. You can also throw in some fun themed incentives. We like to use whole class rewards. And this is the time of the year where it's really motivating. The students can vote on a reward. We have a fall truck where they add pumpkins, or there's a spooky scene. The students really love that one. They get to put together the whole spooky scene. And then once they do, they earn that reward that they voted on. It's super motivating and it's a great visual. Oh, you guys only need a few more pieces. And it's a great way to say, wow, everybody's doing a great job. Here, now I'm gonna give you a piece of your whatever scene it is. And they just love it and go crazy. And the themed ones are so much fun during this time of year. And shake things up during center time too. Bring in some themed centers that they'll love. It's just little tiny shifts that make all the difference and can really shake things up for you and the kids and just kind of keep them on their toes. And if you're looking for some fun themed centers, I'll go ahead and link those below for you so you can check those out too. Number 3 is a really important one for you and your mental health. Take a break. Use those sick days. Do not be afraid to leave them alone. They can handle it. And even if they can't, they're gonna be fine for 1 or 2 days. But that time to reset yourself is more important than whatever chaos may happen when you're not there. I promise, it's so important. And I know I'm one that I never take sick days, but after having kids, you're forced to and you realize how important those days are for you and how much happier you are when you get back and you can handle those things that bother us on a day-to-day basis. They are a little bit easier to deal with when you can walk away and take a break for a minute. If you are worried about leaving them, try creating a sub, tub, and binder. This is great for emergency, you can't be there, or whether you need a mental health day. Whatever it is that you need it for, you can have everything there for the sub so that it's like you're still there anyways. And I promise, it is totally worth it to take a break and give yourself that day or 2 that you need to reset. We've spent a lot of time talking about how chaotic it can be during October. So the next tip is rooted in joy. Find the joy of teaching during October. What does that mean? Well, we already talked about it a little bit in our last few tips, but I really want to emphasize how we know in the world of scripted curriculums, lots of expectations, escalated behaviors, how can we find the joy in that? I will tell you. Look in those curriculums that we have. Where can we tie in a fun craft? Maybe we're working on fact families and the students could do a craft. Maybe we're working on a specific comprehension skill and we can throw in a themed book. Any way that we can throw in those fun things just to make it a little bit better for students and for us. Let's find the joy in teaching. This is what we love. This is what they love. We know that we don't always have time to do this, but we can fit it in. And if you have to alter a lesson, it's okay. It's just one lesson. We love completing this science experiment during the month of October. It's great for all that extra candy you have, and the students love it. They can go through the whole scientific process and see what happens. It is so fun, easy, and engaging, and you can grab that free below. Now, you may be saying to yourself, these tips are great, but we are really struggling over here, which of course, right? We always have those years, those classes, things that really happen that can set everybody off. And if you're one of those teachers, that's okay. This is where our last tip comes in. You might be in need of a refresh or reset. Now, I kind of quickly went into this with our first tip when we talked about expectations, but this is even more involved. If your stress level is hitting the roof and you're losing tons of instructional time, it might be time for a whole class reset. And I know that sounds a little bit scary, but think of it more, again, like we talked about, getting those students ready to learn. If we're wasting lots of instructional time every day, they are not ready to learn. And it's okay. Just got to get the wheels back on the track. Now, on the other hand, if you feel like students are doing pretty well, but they're starting to get more off track or they're needing more reminders than normal, that's where we can have that refresh time. Again, think about like what I said earlier in the video, how we spend the time creating the anchor charts again, modeling, practicing. Again, it's all to get the students ready to learn. And like I said, it's okay. Know that if admin asks what you're doing, we're wasting instructional time anyway, so we've got to get it together. I promise by having a refresh or a reset, whatever the students need, you're providing that to them so that you can get everybody back moving again, get back into instruction, and make the days smooth flowing so that your stress is reduced and it's a more calm environment. If you're one of those teachers saying, I need this, but I'm not sure how, I'm gonna link a blog post below for you to take the quiz to see whether you're in need of a refresh or a reset, and look for a video coming soon about the difference between a refresh and a reset and some easy tips whether you're in need of a refresh or a reset. I really hope you enjoyed these quick and easy tips, and I hope that your October's off to a great start and you can find the joy in teaching in October because we know how chaotic it is. Make sure to check out more helpful tips in the description below, as well as other blog posts. And of course, don't forget to snag that freebie for this month. Thank you all so much for watching. And again, if you're new here, make sure to like, follow, subscribe for tons more weekly back to school tips and tricks. I'll see you next week.